Hey there, We Stand Corrected podcast aficionados. Are you tired of missing out on the juicy details of your favorite shows? Do you find yourself constantly asking, what did they say? Well, fear not, because we've got the solution for you. Introducing CHS, Can't Hear Shit, the revolutionary earbuds designed specifically for those who are tired of straining to catch every word.
Hey, Joe, did you catch what that last guest said about ED?
Sorry, Curtis, I was too busy adjusting my CHS earbuds. I think they mentioned something about aliens and mojo stealing.
Ah, classic. Thanks, Joe. That's the beauty of CHS. Never miss a beat, even when you can't hear a thing.
With CHS, you'll enjoy crystal clear sound quality, customizable volume levels, and a stylish design that's sure to turn heads.
Plus, with our special discount code, Stand Corrected, listeners can get 10% off their first order of CHS earbuds.
That's right, folks. Don't let FOMO get the best of you. Get your CHS earbuds today and join the conversation with confidence. CHS, hear the world like never before, or at least pretend like you did. Available now at all major retailers.
Thanks to our sponsor, CHS Earbuds, for keeping us in the loop, even when we're a little lost. Welcome to episode 9 of We Stand Corrected. Curtis, buddy, how you doing?
Episode 9. I'm doing good. How are you doing today?
Oh, man, doing great. Can't believe we're on episode 9 here. You know, we had a lot of good feedback about our Colorado adventures, and I think...
Absolutely, people love the Colorado talk.
So I think we kind of went all the way around Colorado on some of those adventures. I think we should zone it down to some of our experiences in just one portion. What do you think?
All right, let's do it.
So the idea we brought to mind was that southwest corner, which I think is the most beautifulest part of the state, if I'm being honest. And I know you've been down there.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'd have to agree. It's very. It's got a little bit of everything that Colorado has to offer.
Definitely, and I know you took a trip down there. What, 1 or 2 years ago?
Yeah, it was. Oh gosh, it was the summer that COVID was happening, so a lot of the stuff was closed. But we got to see a lot of beautiful countryside down there.
So take us out of there. So you went down through. You left Colorado Springs, and headed southwest. Probably what, down? Did you go down Highway 285 at all?
Gosh, I'm just been a while trying to remember. I think we did. Yes, we went down to. We went through Walsenburg and then down Alamosa,
and then you hit
that way.
You hit Pagosa Springs, was one of the first big mountain cities after Alamosa, right?
Yep.
In Pagosa Springs, I don't know if you've ever been there. It's called I think it's called the Springs Resort, actually. And it's a hot springs, one of the nicer hot springs we have in the state, kind of a lot like Glenwood. And it sits right along the river there that runs through Pagosa Springs. I don't know. I can't remember the name of that river. Can you?
I can't right off the top of my head either.
But what a cool resort, man. And the hot springs, I think there's like 20 some pools, and they sit like right on the river. I mean, beautiful area just to stop and chill even for the day as you go through that way. That's one place I would recommend going through down there. But as you leave Pagosa Springs, do you go over Wolf Creek Pass after that, or was it before Wolf Creek Pass? I think it was after.
I want to say it was after there too.
Also, cool pass, right? Like, I mean, you're towing a trailer.
Oh, gorgeous.
It's an adventure of a ride. Don't get me wrong. That's a cool adventure over there.
Yeah, there's a lot to see. You go in and going through like Durango, and
yes,
some of those mountain towns they're just cool. I like the vibe of a good mountain town.
Yep. And I know you've spent some time in Durango. So have I. Durango's a cool mountain town, man.
Have you ever done the train ride down there?
That's always been like the bucket list thing of mine. And that single track coal train, right? Like the views, everything I see, the videos through there look amazing. Have you been on it?
It's pretty cool. Yep.
Yeah. What do you remember most about it?
I remember when we were chugging along and getting embers on your clothes from the coal burning.
Were you close to the locomotive at that time?
we were probably the closest you could get to it, and it was summertime, so all the windows were down, and every now and then you'd get a flake in your eye or something.
Could you see them throwing the coal in?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's got to be cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
Well, and they had that big fire start from that train because of all the embers that it throws out of there.
Yes, and it literally, dude. I mean, you'll have little black specks on your clothes.
Oh man.
But
yeah, I want to.
It's cool. You can get up and walk around and take it all in, and it's like an all day deal.
Yeah, well, it goes into I think the town is Silverton, if I remember right. Does that sound right, Silverton?
Yeah, it's the Durango and Silverton.
Yep, and it stops there in another cool little mountain town. I haven't spent any time in that one, but I talked about that highway that runs through there because after Silverton, you get on what's called that $1 Million Highway. Coolest highway to ever drive, I think, in the state.
Yeah,
wherever. And so that's an experience that if you haven't taken, you need to take that experience at least once in your life. Because on the other side of that pass is a cool town called Ouray. And in Ouray, they call it, the little Switzerland of America, because as you go down through the $1 Million Highway and you get into Ouray, the mountains look like pictures you'd see from Switzerland because the mountains are surrounded like that. And in Ouray,
surrounded by those snow-capped peaks.
Yeah, and in Ouray, they have it's so small, but they have so many things. They got Box Canyon Falls where you can walk behind these waterfalls that they got built. I mean, there's some cool hikes in there that you can go see waterfalls, and they're really easy, nothing extreme. And it's a cool place, man. And they got another cool hot springs in there too that I spent some time at. I mean, I would highly recommend Ouray in that drive.
Maybe I'll have to make it down there again this summer sometime.
I think I need to make it a priority, man, because I didn't get enough time there. I'm not going to lie. Like, I want to go again.
Yeah. There's so much to see there, though. You could spend 2 weeks and probably not see everything you wanted to.
Yeah, but I mean, now they got the bridge shut down over Blue Mesa, so it's like you're going to have to take the long way now. If you want to go to your
300 miles to the trip.
Yeah, that's no shit. But I mean, you can still go down through Durango, but what do you remember about Durango?
We went to a good brewery there. I can't remember what it was called, but that, and then just some of the little shops. There's a really cool railroad museum there.
With the history.
So we went and walked through. Oh, you know me, dude. I'm history as it gets.
Yeah. Well, I remember it's a big hippie town for sure.
Oh, absolutely. When we were down there with my daughter, they had it was like a Raptors place where you could pay to go in and handle these like falcons and eagles and hawks and stuff. So we had my daughter got to go in and do that. She was tickled.
Nice. I last time I went to, I ventured west of Durango and headed towards Cortez. And on the way to Cortez, there's a national park. It was called Mesa Verde, I believe. Does that sound right?
Mesa Verde, yes. Yep. Very, very cool.
That is a cool place because they got like cliff dwellings of history. You being the history guy, there's a lot of history back through there too. And
oh yeah, and they're everywhere. I mean, it's huge.
Yeah, and as you drive through, you get through these cliffs and these valleys, and you see these cliff dwellings that were made in there. But one of the most unique things I remember seeing in that park, I don't know if you saw this while you went in there, but there are wild horses in there.
I didn't see any. I'd heard there were.
Yeah. I remember driving along the road going, well, why is there a horse? There's like 1 or 2 horses right here, just randomly. No fences, no nothing. Out in the middle of nowhere. And at first I thought it was a statue. And no, it stood there like a statue, but it was a wild horse, bro. Like probably some Mustang you didn't want to fuck with, to be honest with you, as you're driving through there. But I saw a few, which I thought was cool because you always heard about the wild horses, and there they were. Kind of like something you'd see.
Ironically.
Kind of like something you'd see on Yellowstone, when you got Casey riding the fucking wild Mustangs, bringing them in, taming them in, man. That's where they got them from, probably.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They were all wild at one point. You know, ironically, when I was up in there, I didn't see a single horse, but I did see a bear.
Really?
Middle of the day. Dude was walking around by a stream and drinking out of the water, drinking out of the stream.
Yeah, that's one I wouldn't get out of the car for. I'll tell you that.
No.
But you ventured.
Cortez is an awesome place too.
Yeah, I didn't spend any time there. I did drive in there. I don't know anything about Cortez. I'll be honest there.
There's not a lot to it. There's a nice reservoir over there, pretty big lake actually, and then not too far from Cortez, there's a really cool little town called Dolores, and it's like it reminds me of like Andy Griffith Town. It's just a small town, but they've got cool little brewery, a little central park there that does farmers markets and stuff like that.
Yeah, and you guys actually ventured down into the Four Corners right there, didn't you?
We did. We took a drive out of Cortez, excuse me, in our campground, and it was about a 6-hour deal. And we drove out through Utah, out into Monument Valley, which was, if you haven't ever done that, it's spectacular. The rock formations are amazing.
Well, and you saw the little Forrest Gump scene, right there.
Yep, I stopped and took a picture on Forrest Gump Hill. That's what they call it now.
Is it labeled that?
It is labeled that. There's a pullover right there, and you'll see about 100 cars pulled over to take a picture like Forrest Gump.
No, that's cool.
But for the whole thing is on an Indian reservation. So we went out through into Utah, and it's kind of when you start seeing signs for Lake Powell and stuff. That was kind of tempting too, but we didn't get out that way. And then turned south and went down into Arizona, and then turned east and went into New Mexico, and then back up from New Mexico back up into Colorado.
Back through the Four Corners.
Yep.
Man, tell me about
you go to the Four Corners Monument, and it is in the middle of absolute nowhere.
Yeah, I know
it doesn't get any more desolate than where that place is.
I know if you look at it on a map, it doesn't line up with the actual Four Corners.
No, it's off by like 50 feet or something.
Do they say that when you're there?
There was no one there when I went because it was during COVID.
Really? But I'm saying like, so when you got to buy to get in, right?
We couldn't even get in.
Are you serious?
It was locked up.
Oh, I thought you said you went.
Yeah, I'm serious. No, we went by there. We were hoping to go, and there was a gate around it, and they weren't letting anybody in because of COVID.
Oh man. Well, I'm glad I didn't go then. I mean, I would have been devastated knowing I'm on the Four Corners and it's not really the Four Corners.
And that you drove that long and still didn't get to see it.
Oh, no shit. And probably you got to spend like $20 to get in there.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So,
but yeah, it was funny, because I kept telling my wife, I said, if we're already down here, I am going to go see Monument Valley. And my wife and her friend at the time was with us. Oh, it's a really long drive. I said, well, you guys don't have to go. I'm going. So I ended up dragging them out of there. And by the end of the day, they were like, thank you for making us go do that. That was awesome.
Yeah. Did you have your daughter at the time too?
We did.
What'd she think as a kid being out there?
She didn't care for it at the time. My daughter had to go pee outside there. And it was really hot. Yep. And that's what her memory of that is.
Yeah, no, I would love to see it. I saw the pictures. You're going to have to post up some of those pictures that you took on our pages. That way people can actually see them so they can go
do that
way.
Yeah.
But, like I said, that whole corner, I think that's some of the best scenery in the country. Because, I mean, even you got Moab not far from there, and there's some good things to see in Moab, even Utah right there. And then, like you said, when you go into Utah, you saw where Forrest Gump it was. And, that's just, it's a nice scenic ride. And then you got Telluride over there. And Telluride's a place I still want to visit too. That's on the bucket list.
Definitely.
So, well, at this point, man, we got our first commercial coming. Let's get to that sponsor. What do you think?
Let's get to that sponsor. I can't wait.
All right. We'll be right back.
Attention, all We Stand Corrected podcast listeners. Are you tired of dealing with pesky problems that just won't go away? Well, we have got a solution for you.
Joe, did you know that the average person spends about 6 months of their life waiting on red lights to turn green?
Curtis, I think we're supposed to be talking about our sponsor. That's right, folks. Introducing the We Stand Corrected DIY Home Vasectomy Kit, the perfect solution for those who are tired of waiting in line at the doctor's office.
That's right. With our DIY kit, you can say goodbye to expensive medical bills and hello to a whole new level of self-reliance.
Plus, with our easy-to-follow instructions manual and step-by-step video tutorials, you'll be performing your own vasectomy in no time. And for a limited time, use promo code SNIPSNIP to get 25% off your first DIY home vasectomy kit.
That's a deal you can't afford to miss, folks. So why wait? Take matters into your own hands and order your We Stand Corrected DIY home vasectomy kit today. But wait, that's not all. Order in the next 30 minutes, and we'll throw in a free leather strap for you to bite down on to help manage the pain.
We Stand Corrected DIY home vasectomy kit, because who needs a doctor when you've got Curtis and Joe? Be a man.
And we're back. A big thank you to our sponsor, the We Stand Corrected DIY home vasectomy kit, for providing us with endless laughs and a few cringes. Now let's get back to the show. Hey, Curtis.
Yes, sir.
What's the difference between a hippo and a zippo?
You got me.
One's really heavy, and the other's a little lighter.
How do you keep a bull from charging?
Ooh, I don't know how.
Duh, you take away his credit card.
Oh, good one. What do you call a factory that makes okay products?
What's that?
A satisfactory.
How did the two black cats end their fight?
Oh, you got me.
They hissed and made up.
Oh, how cute. Well, that might be a segment we got to keep in our show these days, our little dad joke segment we got going here. But it's good to have a couple sponsors come into the game, huh?
It is, man. It's made quite the difference for us. I think it's what's going to get us to the next level, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised these guys reached out to us, said they got this great DIY home vasectomy kit. I mean, nothing better than doing it yourself. I mean, I like to save a little money at the time. I don't know about you.
I'm a big DIY guy.
Yeah, well, wait a second. What'd you say? I gotta readjust my CHS earbuds. They're coming in great, man. Wow, these things are making a big difference today. So I got this idea from a really sweet friend of mine. I told you I've been talking to lately. And she's been listening to the show quite a bit. And she was telling me this story about her ancestry DNA adventure. And she was like, you guys should add this to your show. And I was like, wow, that is a great idea. And so you and I have both now went out and bought these kits off Amazon, the ancestry DNA kits, with curiosity to what we're about to find out here. So coming up on the show, I think you and I are going to adventure, and we're going to roll this blind, and we're going to reveal these results, kind of blind to each other to kind of figure out what we find out here. I'm kind of curious to know what's going to happen with this.
I never thought I would be a guy that would do that. But here I am.
Here I am too. Didn't somebody in your family have a little adventure with this as well?
My mom did. She found out when she was in her late 50s that she was adopted.
What?
Yeah, and ended up, it was after my grandmother passed away. She found out that she has her biological father is not really the one that she thought it was. And she ended up doing ancestry DNA and found a whole nother half of her family that she didn't even know existed.
No.
And I told you my parents went out to the East Coast, and it was to go visit those people.
Yeah.
And they're nice, really nice family, down to earth, great people. But it's kind of funny because some of them look just like my mom, like the facial features. I mean, it's all there. It's really weird.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm curious to what we're going to find out with this. So I remember you partially telling me the story, but I forgot about that, man. So they went out there and visited, and I mean, are they going to become
Yeah, they
close?
went out and met them all, and they're actually, honestly, they really are. They a couple of them came out over the winter and visited my mom and dad at their home.
Wow. Oh my gosh. I think I would be in shock if I find this out, buddy. You might find out that you're got a big brother somewhere.
You never know, man. I mean, I'm telling you, the things. What I'm really curious to find out is just how much Native American I am.
Or not at all, maybe. Maybe you just have been told you are.
Well, I know my grandfather was half, and so that would make me at least an eighth. But then it's also on my mom's side of the family too.
Yeah. So you're a little more than an eighth from what you're thinking, huh?
It should be a little bit more, yeah.
Like maybe
So
20%, 25%, maybe a quarter.
yeah, I really can't speculate too much at this point.
Obviously you're Irish, man. That the beard you got going's, you got some red in the beard. So, and you got a good Irish accent.
Oh, well, I reckon we'll find out about all that once we take the test, eh?
Yeah. So do
I
you
think, I expect to find a little Irish, a little German, some European countries in there.
I think I do too. I think I'm going to come out mostly Irish, but I think there's probably some German, probably some more European in there that I don't know. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'm Native American. I doubt it, but who knows, man? Maybe I got some long lost brother. I'm going to find out I'm going to be talking with my parents about that.
You're going to find out you've got like some Asian ancestry or something.
All the way in China. Little China Joe, Chinese Joe. So do you know the process of this? I don't know anything about this process.
I don't know either. I don't know if you swab the inside of your cheek and then put it in a test tube and send it to them, or what you have to do.
All right, so this is going to be interesting. So one time though, we had a dog, and they have one for dogs, and this was like a little dog. I mean, medium size. I'll go medium. And don't remember how we got the kit. It was some kind of ancestry DNA kit for dogs. Had to swab their mouth, and this dog comes back.
Did he find out? Did he find out if he was Native American?
he might have been off the reservations. I'm not gonna lie. He probably came off. But this dog is a medium-sized dog. It was like red coated. I don't know. And it came back as full lab. And there's no way this dog's full lab. I'm like, no fucking way. So that's why I'm like, maybe I'm a little hesitant about it, So, you might come back
Yeah.
100% African American for all I know, dude. Who knows?
You never know, man. Like, you can't rule it out. I really can't.
Well, maybe in the pants. Who knows? But you've had that water, that local water we grew up with.
Yeah, like good old Whitefield security water.
Yeah, those loaded full of those vitamins and PFCs that were in that water. You got drinking a third leg growing down there.
Perfluorinated compounds down half my life.
Oh man, yeah, and you like faucet water. You love faucet. I can't do it. Cannot do it, man.
Oh, dude, I love it. There's nothing better. I still drink out of the hose in the backyard.
Will you talk about that time you went to Mexico?
Yeah, I will. Just for your sake.
Let's close out the show on this, since you're the big faucet water drinker.
Okay. And what I'm learning about myself is that I have bowel problems. I've learned about myself through this show. But the first time I went to Mexico, my wife and I went on a honeymoon there, and we stayed at this resort in Cancun. And it wasn't like one of the premier ones. It was, it was a nice place, but it wasn't one of the top-notch ones. Anyway, somebody had told me, oh yeah, all those big resorts down there, they have their own water treatment facilities, and you don't have to worry about the water. It's perfectly fine. So what do I do after a whole day of drinking down there?
You're thirsty.
I'm going to try the water. I was thirsty as shit. Try the water, and I'm like, oh, it's not too bad. It's good, it tastes fine. So the rest of the week, and this is like day 3, so we're like halfway there. Rest of the week, I did not discriminate on drinking the water out of the sink in our hotel room. And it didn't hit me until we got back from there. And it lasted for about 3 to 4 weeks.
When you got home?
Yeah.
No.
Montezuma's revenge, buddy.
You probably went to a drive-in movie theater right after this. This is probably what got you.
It was definitely similar, that's for sure.
So
never again will I ever drink the water in Mexico.
Unless it's bottled. Where in Mexico was this?
It was in Cancun.
Oh, was it? I've been one time, and I remember
but it wasn't.
Remember showering and just a weird smell with the water. And I thought it was at a pretty good, decent resort, but the water had a weird smell to it, buddy. And I was like, man, there's no way I'd drink this.
We stayed at one time, and this was like a high dollar hotel, like a Iberostar or I think it might even been the Occidental Grand that we stayed at, but it had a spa tub in the bathroom. So we get back to the room one night. I go, you know what? I'm going to try this thing out. This thing's got jets and all kinds of cool stuff. So I get in there and start filling her up. And the more water was getting in the tub, the browner it got.
Oh,
it was brown water. It looked like we pumped her straight out of the lake. So yeah, I couldn't do it.
Yes, sir. Well, buddy, I think we had a good episode 9 here. Everyone's going to have to stay tuned for when we turn in our DNA test and get our results back here.
Yeah, I think we're honestly both going to be very surprised, and there's no telling what we'll find out.
Yeah,
I'm telling you what, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, we got to give a big thank you to Sarah for letting us give us this idea here. Just a little shout out there.
Good thinking, Sarah.
Yeah. So till next time. And I got to thank everybody. Go check out our sponsors. You know, if you need that DIY home vasectomy kit, be a man.
Also, don't forget, check us out on social media, Facebook, Instagram. I think we even have a TikTok now.
Yeah, it's getting out there. So come check us out. You know, hit up our sponsors. If you can't hear shit, get you those earbuds.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your week.
All right. Till next week, buddy.
All right, Bo.